All right, so I'm a used car dealer. This is my car lot. These are all my cars behind me that I have for sale. That's an interesting intro, right? All right, so I've actually had a lot of you ask for it. I go to a lot of these dealerships, get prices on these new vehicles. A lot of you have been asking for Subaru. So today we're at a Subaru dealer and I'm going to show you what some of these new Subarus are going for. So the Subaru dealers are already starting to get a lot of these 2024s in. This is a 2024 Subaru Outback. It's a premium. And this dealership, as far as I can see, they don't have any kind of market adjustment or anything on it. But the total price on this is $34,467. All right, this is a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Premium. And the MSRP on this is $28,300. So one thing that I've noticed at the Subaru dealership, and I've walked through all of their brand new vehicles, I've looked at every sticker almost, and I'm not seeing any dealer add-ons. I'm not seeing any kind of market adjustments. I'm not seeing even nitrogen, and it's very rare. I've been to a lot of these dealerships now in the last few months to show you guys what the prices of a lot of these new vehicles are. It's very rare for me not to even see like a nitrogen fee on one of these new vehicles. All right, this is a WRX, but this one is a 23 model. It's standard, so it's 6-speed. And it is a premium edition, and the MSRP on this one's $36,383. This is a smaller Subaru dealership. They've got some stock. What I will say to you is that if you are looking for a vehicle, if you're looking for something new, there are dealerships out there that are not trying to, at least what it looks like, gouge you. And this is a good example of a dealership that's not doing that kind of stuff because there's no market adjustments, there's no even nitrogen fees. I really like to see that, and I want to see more of that going forward as the prices start to come down, because these dealerships are not going to be able to charge these bogus fees to consumers as prices start coming down, at least on the new car side. And it's just really nice to see a dealership like this, and they're not charging those fees. So this one is a 2024 Outback Limited, and the MSRP that they have on this one is $39,412. All right, so this one's a 2023, but it's a Subaru Ascent. It's a Touring Edition, and the MSRP on this one is $50,681. All right, so I'm a used car dealer. This is my car lot. These are all my cars behind me that I have for sale. That's an interesting intro, right? So I did a video about a week and a half ago that showed that I had cars behind me on my lot, and they were all reasonable, cheap prices, and I was talking about not being able to sell them. Well, an interesting thing happened. So right before I filmed that video, me and my sales manager went out through the cars, and he actually dropped a ton of the prices because we were slow. And then I filmed that video showing the prices that we had and talked about us being slow. And then right after I shot that video, I posted it. We actually sold just about everything. As you can see behind me right now, we have almost no cars left. We have a front row of cars. We might have 20 left for sale, maybe. But we have a lot more cars that are coming through our system to be reconned to be able to get them out. So it's not like we have zero cars, but we sold just about everything that we had available at that time, and that's why you don't see any cars behind me right now. And it wasn't that I put all these cars on YouTube, I showed the prices of them, what we had in them, and what we were selling them for. There weren't people from YouTube that came and bought all these vehicles, so that had nothing to do with it. I don't give out the location of my car lot on YouTube, and that's for two reasons. One, my staff couldn't handle it. We just don't have enough people to handle the volume of questions that we would get from people seeing my videos and then wanting to ask us questions. But the two reason, and the more important reason, is I'm a used car dealer and I'm posting videos on YouTube, and my job, I feel like, in posting these videos is to give you good, honest, straightforward advice. And if I give you my car lot information, I show you the cars that I'm selling, the message is going to come across a much different way. I don't want to sell you a car on YouTube. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to push my product on you, because I'm trying to give you advice. And I feel like this honest advice that I'm trying to give you is going to be skewed if you feel like I'm just a used car dealer on YouTube trying to sell you a vehicle. So now, with saying all that, why were we able to move so many cars in such a short amount of time? Well, it's pretty easy. We lowered our prices. And the thing about it is, we didn't even really lower our prices all that dramatically. we didn't go through and slash everything $1,000. For the most part, we cut all these cars anywhere between like $300 to $500. And with doing that, we sold almost everything. So we were very close to the price point we needed to be. And I think this is a good message for the market. If you're a dealer out there, the market wants cheaper prices, and that's what we did, and that's how we sold a lot of cars. And I think it's going to be something that these dealers out here, these manufacturers, franchise dealers, both used and new car dealers, are going to have to do if they want to move cars. We're going to have to lower our prices. This is a different market right now than it has been in the last 6 months, in the last year. People don't have money, and for them to be able to purchase vehicles, they have to be able to afford it. And at the prices that we have right now, people cannot afford it. So dealers, you're going to have to make a little bit less money. You're going to have to move some vehicles. And a lot of these dealers, they're going to be forced to actually lower their prices because they're going to have interest payments come up. They're going to have to do their floor plans where they're going to have to actually sell some vehicles, and they're going to be forced to lower their prices because they're not selling anything right now. We're already seeing it day supply. We're seeing it on the used car side and the new car side that dealers are having a hard time selling vehicles. I was selling $2,500 to $3,500 cars, and I was having a hard time moving vehicles. And we're seeing that all the way across the market. So dealers are going to have to lower their prices to be able to move volumes of vehicles. And that's coming right around the corner because we're seeing it stack up at auctions right now. We're seeing no sales stack up there. We're seeing dealers starting to increase their level of inventory that they have, and they're going to have to lower prices. All right, so now what is the time frame? What things have to fall in place to make these dealers start to lower prices? Well, first, you're going to have to start seeing that auction prices are going to start coming down. That's what we're already seeing. We're seeing demand go down. That means that dealers are less willing to pay high prices at auctions. Wholesale data is showing that auction prices are coming down. We're already seeing that. We're starting to see no sales stack up at these auctions. That means that there's less bidders in the system. There's less money being poured into these auctions to demand higher prices for these vehicles, and that's causing the sellers, the franchise dealers that are bringing these trade-ins to auction, they're not ready to dump cars for less than what they have been in the last 6 months, but you're going to start seeing that. And as you start seeing that, that's going to push auction prices further down, and that's going to then filter its way over to the retail side where dealers are going to have to push their prices lower because dealers that are buying cars right now, they're buying them for cheaper than dealers were 3-6 months ago. So they're going to be able to price their vehicles more competitively than dealers that have cars that have been sitting on their lots for 3-6 months. And what you'll see happen is that there will be other dealers wake up like we did and say, you know what, we're not selling a whole lot of vehicles. We need to lower our prices. I've talked to a lot of other dealers. I'm in a big circle of dealers. We see each other week in, week out, and they're starting to lower their prices too. So you're going to now start seeing this across all of the dealers, that they're going to start lowering their prices because they have to, because they're not selling any cars. If they're not moving any cars, they're not making any money. If they're not making any money, they can't pay their bills. They have bills they have to pay. And for them to be able to pay their bills, they have to move cars. So for them to move cars, they're going to have to lower their prices. That's what we're seeing right now. And on the new car side, you're seeing the exact same thing. You're seeing a lot of incentives start coming into the market. You're seeing special rates coming into the market. You're seeing percentages get knocked off these vehicles. You're seeing sales, especially in manufacturers that are stacking up day supply. You're seeing a lot of that in Stellantis. You're going to start seeing a lot of it at Ford because these F-150s, I know I talk about it all the time, they are stacking up. They are going to have to start incentivizing people to buy their F-150s, and how they do that, they got to sell them for less money. And that's what's happening right now. That's what we're going to continue to see. I know that I have said to wait for a very long time, and I'm going to continue to say it. It takes a very long time for bubbles to deflate. We are in a car bubble right now, and it's going to take a long time for prices to come down in a significant way. They're not going to just drop over the course of a month, over a course of 2 months. There's not going to be any crash. There's not enough inventory for that, but prices will come down. Be patient, wait, and you'll get a good price later on. So a lot of you have actually been wanting to get an update on this truck that I bought a few weeks back. So just to give those of you that don't know the story on this truck, It went through auction. I bid on it. I was up to like almost $16,000. I offered $18,000 for this truck, and the seller actually wanted 21 grand for it. And I said, no, I can't do that. So this truck actually ran through the auction for a few weeks. Talked about no sales. It sold for like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. Then 1 week it went through the auction again. I was like, you know what, I'll bid on it again. I went up to like 15.4 or whatever. They sold it to me. So they wanted $21,000, and they came all the way down to somewhere around $15,000 and actually sold it to me. So show that wholesale prices are coming down, and when dealers start actually cutting, you'll see a lot of these wholesale prices come down even further, and that's when we can see retail prices. Talking about that through the market, all of my videos. Anyway, we're seeing this in real time. We saw it with this truck right here. Thought it had a minor issue with it, turned out to be a major issue with it. It needed the heads redone. I had to do valves on it. While I was in there, we did timing. We did basically everything to redo the motor on this truck. Cost me about $4,500 to get everything done. All that's to say, I'm in this truck. It's a 2017. It's got 80,000 miles on it. I'm in it right under $20,000. Still think I got a good deal, even though I had to do all the work to it. But work's done. I've been driving it for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I really like it. It's F-150. I've wanted an F-150, been looking for one. Hate that I had to do all that work, and I was wrong about the amount of work I'd have to do to it. But now it's all done. I know it's done. I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to drive it for the foreseeable future. But 2017 F-150, 80-something thousand miles. I'm in it a little under 20 grand.